Hello everyone, this is Enzo Eigen of the Alliance for Loki, and this is my war video against Agent Graphite. So this is the 4th war of Season 17. And so this alliance is about the same rating as we are. It's not one we've played too much, and I'm going in with a very interesting team. So I'm going to run Path 9, which is of course Mysterio and Emma, but I'm going to do Path 7 before that in Section 1, which I've never done before. And so I'm going to take in Quake just as a good counter for many different fights. And so it is a control global, it's called Flow. And again, that's a really difficult node that gives control champions lots and lots of power. So I think we've seen it every war. It's really become just the staple of this war season. So it's definitely the Flow wars now. And so I go in with this team, and yeah, Section 1's going to be interesting because of course I don't know my fights. It's the hidden fights. And I have characters that I really don't play that often except in that one section, but they have pretty limited nodes, since Emma and Mysterio basically cancel out the main difficulty of that section, which is the reverse controls. So I go over to Section 1, and I quickly realize after I go over there that I've forgotten something, and that is of course to turn on my Scouter Mastery. So you know, in all the Section 1 Path 7 fights, they're hidden. You can use the Scouter Mastery to figure out who they are. You see when I go up here, I get nothing but question marks. And so yeah, I know nothing about this champion, which means time to turn on the Masteries. So luckily I have it set up pretty well, my Masteries now, so I just have to flip around the proficiency tree and I get them turned on, and now I can see the statistics, and the health and the attack is what you need. I use the Scouter tool, figure it out, it's Iceman, and then I put on all of my buffs for this fight. So this fight I'm going in with Emma Frost, really the only one of my 3 characters I'd say you could use. Quake is useless because the Cold Snap cancels out her evade, and so she doesn't work at all. And Emma is fine because she actually can shrug off the Cold Snap at the beginning of the fight because of her diamond form. So she's actually a really good counter to this fight. Nothing too specific. I do take it linked, which means I have Bane on the fight. So, you know, I do have to watch out for that. But yeah, it's again, straightforward. Just trying to, you know, get my hits in, watch his power, dodge his specials. I started debating between, do I want to deal with an SP1 or SP2? I fear the SP2 a little more just because I think its damage is pretty powerful, and I actually have an easier time dodging it, so I go ahead and have him throw that, and that's fine. Now I'm building up my prowesses. I actually have a lot of prowesses. Wait till Bane's on me, transfer it. There you see the way diamond form sort of took me back from 8 prowesses to 5, because when you're in diamond form, the most prowesses you can have is 5, so it's not that big a deal. I probably should have thrown my SP2 at 8, but I throw my SP3 instead, and it kills him. So very straightforward fight. Emma's a surprisingly good fighter in war. I mean, again, I've used her a lot on Path 9, and I feel fairly comfortable with her. She's pretty tanky, you know, has a pretty powerful SP2 attack, has like some interesting power control that's sort of slight, and so yeah, she does well in these matchups. Now I'm off to the next node, again, scouting it, and we look at it and figure out it's Havok. Havok's always a little worrisome, so I'm going to go in with Mysterio. The problem with Havok is, of course, he's building up those power surges, which then can detonate on you, and also, you know, this node in particular, he can't be blocked, and so, or no, actually, after every 10 blocks, he becomes unblockable. And he's the type of character where you end up blocking a lot because it's hard to parry his first attack since it doesn't make contact. And so I'm a little worried about this fight, but I'm going to go in with Mysterio. And again, my strategy is just to try to get up to my SP3 as quickly as I can, and from there, yeah, then I can do a lot of damage just with my attack, get a really big damage increase. And so that's the plan, and nothing to do now but to execute it. So, you know, I quickly look at all my buffs. I check out Havok really quick just to make sure he's not a control character. I didn't think he was, but I didn't want to be surprised if he was. I go ahead and throw in a regen boost just because I had a few in the overflow. I had one in the overflow, and that'll help deal with the suicides and just keep me a little fresher in case there's a plasma detonate. So he's always an interesting character just because of the, again, having to bait out the heavies. And also his SP1 and SP2 are pretty easy to dodge, but they sometimes catch me by surprise, especially the SP1. I feel like he likes to throw that a lot. So you can see there's a little red hit counter. So I try to watch that. So far now I have 4 block hits on me. At 10, he becomes unblockable. So I get him to his SP2, and now I have to bait this out. So now it's just going to be some dancing around. And it's not that hard in SP2 to dodge, but if you get hit by it, you take severe damage. There he throws sort of a sneaky SP1, but I managed to evade it, and so I'm always sort of on the watch for that. Again, an intercept. I was a little scared to try intercepts, but it's either he's going to be unblockable or I do some intercepting. So I'm at 7 unblockable hits, I get to my SP3, so I'm in pretty good shape. I haven't taken too much damage. A little worried about what power this is going to take. I'm actually hoping it kills him, but of course it doesn't. So I still got to survive a little more. It's down to 6%, but he has his SP2, which he throws immediately. I dodge it, and then that's the end of the fight. So it's a little bit scary. Those SP2s, again, they will absolutely destroy you. I think they would kill you if it hit me. I don't know if I could survive one, especially with the health I've lost from suicides. And so that's the end of that path. And so now we go up and scout this fight. We have a big debate over who's taking this fight, just because it's an Annihilus and none of us have very good Annihilus counters in. But at this point, it's time for me to go to bed, so I don't worry too much about this fight at all. Now, the next morning when I wake up, I have a clear path, so it's been dealt with. Pete took it with his Wasp. So Wasp was good because she can do the light intercept trick on an Annihilus, and then of course her heavy is really powerful. 3 attacks, goes through the Aegis heavy pretty quick, and Pete's just such a good player, he can handle sort of those advanced techniques. So here in Path 9 I have a Mojo. So Mojo is a control character, which means he gets that crazy power gen off criticals, and he also has in the first 30 seconds of this fight, the controls are reversed. I'm really worried about this fight. So my plan is to totally quake him. I'm going to use the parry style, but I don't want to hit him at all, because if I hit him, that's going to give him power, and then he can special me, and I'm not in any great shape to dodge it with reverse controls. So there I am, just actually trying not to move any direction, just countering his heavies. His attacks with parries. I do throw the special one just to back him off. It's hard for me if he's really close to me to deal with him, so I go ahead and do that. I know I can afford that power. I'm just hoping that I can keep his power under control enough that he doesn't get a special. Now actually the reverse controls have worn off, so it's a little better, but I don't think I'd even notice that in the fight, just because I'm so concentrated on watching him. The thing about parry style, it seems easy, and it's much easier than the touchless style, but the really big challenge is that there's a potential for them to either throw medium or light, and the timing is different, so you have to really be paying attention to which attack they're throwing in order to counter it well with your parry. And so definitely very tricky. So nervous during that fight, but it worked out. My next fight and last fight of this war is against Ghost. Now Ghost is also a control character, which actually I discovered in fight, which means when I critical her, she gains 45% of a bar power. So I thought this fight was going to be really easy, and here I am fighting, and all of a sudden I see the power flood. I'm like, oh, she must be a control character. And then I sort of have to mid-fight think about what that means to fight her. Actually, I don't do a great job. I'm trying to bait out her her special attack, of course, which is what you want to do. Go and attack again, so trying to watch for that power flood. It doesn't come, and then I'm really in a very precarious zone, because she has 2 bars of power, and if I given her a critical hit, she would have gotten up to a full bar power. Of course, you can stop the power flood by parrying, and so it's very, very strange. I do stop it here. I really need to bait out an SP2, but I get hit. And so I use up my indestructible charges that I had saved over from the last fight. Luckily I have them. She throws her SP3. Of course, she used my 3 indestructible charges, and so I'm totally taking this. And I'm very nervous, but I do survive, and then I immediately throw my SP3, and that's going to really ramp up my damage. Mysterio hits really hard. His SP3 is a pretty powerful attack, as well as then gives you a lot of extra attack through the sort of passive extra attack gain. And then he manages to kill her pretty quickly, but Yeah, did not play that particularly well. I got lucky and was sort of happy to come away with the victory. So yeah, it's like surprise, surprise, ghost is control. So good to know for my next fights. So that's it for me from the rest of the war. My alliance mates clear out the mini bosses and Taters solos the boss, so amazing. We won this fight. We did really well as a battle group. We just had 2 deaths and we're back in tier 1, which I'm really excited about. That means our rewards go up pretty significantly. Let's see, I got my 3 kills on defense and there's the nice tier 1 reward. So overall, great war and some interesting fights for me. That Quaking versus Mojo and reverse control is definitely different and I'm excited to have done well. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed the war and I will see you next video, next war. This is Enzo Eigen in the Alliance for Loki. Bye bye.